Hi, and welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for joining me here today. Today I'm going to be doing a twice monthly favorites video. So I am going to try my best to do a video every other month. So that means today I'm going to be talking to you about my favorites from January and February, and then hopefully I will get it together enough to be able to do one in March and April, and then so on and so on. So today I'm going to be talking to you, as I said, about the products that I have been loving and using the most over the last couple of months. I want to start with just a few makeup favorites that have really been making me very happy these last couple of months and that I have been using a lot. And the first product I'm going to mention has really been making my life very easy over these last couple of months, and that is the Merit Foundation Stick. I forget what they call it, but they say that you can use it as a concealer as well as a foundation, and that is actually how I use it. That is what I have on my face today, as a concealer and a foundation. I think maybe they have changed the packaging since I received it. I can't remember if I received this in PR or if I purchased it on my own, because I actually have the original packaging. It's been a while, but it has stayed perfectly good for me. It has not gone off at all. It still smells completely fine, so I'm going to keep using it until it actually does die on me. But yeah, I have the original packaging. I think they have changed it to include actually more product. I think maybe it's actually a thicker bullet now, a thicker stick. But this is the color I have. It's Bisque, and it's a really good color match for me. As I like to tell you all the time in my videos, in case this is the first time you're here with me, I have light to medium olive tone skin, and Bisque is a great color match. Regardless of the season, I find that it works really well for me. So like I said, I do have it on my face today as a concealer and a foundation. It works great for both uses for me, and I really do love this foundation slash concealer. So I have been reaching for this quite a bit, like I said, over these last couple months. I kind of forgot about how much I really love to use this foundation. It's very easy to use. It is very low maintenance. In my previous video, I was talking about the Fit Glow Concealer. Boxwalla sent it to me to test and to try out. That one I found to be a little bit on the high maintenance side. It took a little bit of extra work for me to blend that product in. I still need to work with it a little bit more, but I would say this Merit foundation slash concealer is really, really easy to use. It doesn't really take that much work to blend in. So I really love it for that reason. And like I said, the color match is great. It's the type of finish that I really like, kind of that not overly dewy skin finish that looks really, really natural. I just really love the finish and how it looks on my skin. So I kind of rediscovered this product over the last couple of months and have been reaching for it quite a bit. So definitely a favorite for me over the last couple months. I also wanted to mention the Makeup by Mario, what is this called? The Skin Enhancer. I have the light to medium color. This is basically a bronzer, and it has been so easy to use. Again, ease of use is always one of those things for me that I love in makeup. This is a great color for me, and I've just been reaching for it, especially in, it's February right now, end of February, moving into March. This is definitely that time of year where I'm feeling extra pale. And this has just been one of those products that just helps warm up my skin, helps me to not feel so pale when I don't have a tan at all. And as I mentioned when I talked about this product, I believe it was in the video where I talked about new products that I had purchased. It's just so easy to use. It's practically foolproof and just looks so natural on the skin. And again, kind of gives that natural, slightly dewy finish, not hyper dewy, so it does look very natural on the skin. So that's kind of a theme for me with makeup, just slightly dewy, but very natural, easy to use. So obviously this has been a favorite of mine over the last couple months. I also want to mention real quickly the Phytosurgence Blushes. My favorites have been Condensate and Simmer. I talked a lot about these in another new products video, so I'll link that up above. And I did swatches of these, so if you are interested in more in-depth thoughts about the Phytosurgence Blushes, definitely go check out that video, because like I said, I did swatches of those. But just suffice to say, I have been loving wearing these and just playing with all the Phytosurgence blushes that I got. I got 4 of them, but Condensate and Simmer, especially Condensate, has really risen to the top of my favorites. I do have that on the tops of my cheeks today. That is the last product that I used on my face today. So hopefully you can kind of get a sense of the color. But yeah, I have just really been loving the Phytosurgence Blushes. And then also talking a little bit more about color. I did mention this in my last video. This is the Salt New York palette. I have two palettes now. I have one that they sent me in PR, and then I have this palette that I created on my own a while back. This is what it looks like. If you want to know more about this palette, check out my previous video where I talk more in depth about this. On my skin today, I have a combination of this one, Rose, as well as Cocoa, which are, I think, a part of the permanent collection now. So what I did was I blended these two and put that down on my face before I put on Condensate by Phytosurgence. And these two colors blend in so beautifully together. I've just been having so much fun playing with all of these colors. I'm not gonna talk about this one, Sugar Plum, because it is discontinued. You can't get it anymore. So I'm just gonna focus on Rose and Cocoa, and that's, like I said, that's what I have on my face for color today, in addition to Condensate by Phytosurgence. And the Salt New York colors are just so easy to play with and blend together. Again, easy, kind of that nice, natural, dewy look. Looks like skin when you put it on your face. So what I did was, after I applied the Merit foundation and then put some of the Makeup by Mario Skin Enhancer on, I started to play with these colors. So I put down Rose first, just kind of patted around my cheeks. Then I took the Cocoa and put it on my nose. And then I was like, oh, well, that looks so pretty. So then I started to put that on top of the Rose. And then I just put some of the Cocoa a little bit on my forehead and just kind of started to play, and it all just blends in, like I said, so easily together. And then what I did was I took some of the highlighter, I forget what they call it, it's a luminous something, I'll put it down below because I'm blanking on it off the top of my head, but this is in the color Beige, which is a really nice color for my skin tone. And then I put that highlighter right here and here, little bit on my nose. And again, it's just fun, like playtime, like you're just playing with art supplies on your face that you really can't mess up or go wrong with. And in the previous video that I did, I mentioned that this beige color is a really nice, I don't want to say dupe because I really don't like saying that, but it's very similar and reminds me a lot of the Westman Atelier Lit Up sticks. And I find that I like it just as much as that Lit Up stick by Westman Atelier in Nectar. And I forgot to mention that I would say if you find the Westman Atelier out of your price range, or if you're just turned off by the Westman Atelier bulky packaging, which, you know, I haven't really talked a lot about because I love the products so much from Westman Atelier, but clearly the packaging is not very sustainable. I think they are moving to refills, which I think is great, but just in general, you know, the packaging is not a great situation. But the packaging for Salt New York is wonderful because they're aluminum pans, which are recyclable. And then the pallets that you can buy to house them in are completely reusable, obviously. So in terms of sustainability and also price point, you can't go wrong with these products. And then, as I keep saying, I'm just absolutely in love with this highlighter, which I think is a great alternative. I guess that's a good word. It's a great alternative to the Westman Atelier Lit Up stick in Nectar in particular. So let's go ahead and move on to the last makeup item I want to talk about, and that is the Merit Signature Lipstick. I have Baby on my lips today, and I'm sure you've been seeing these all over social media, but this is what the lipsticks look like. This is Baby. This is what is on my lips today. I find this is a very flattering nude on me. And then I also have been wearing Millennial a lot, and this is just a really lovely pink. And a lot of times I will layer these lipsticks. So for instance, I will put Millennial on top of Baby. I also have Fashion, which is a really pretty berry. And so I'll put Baby actually on top of Fashion to just kind of tone it down a little bit. So again, kind of the theme here is layering these colors, ease of use, very natural type of makeup looks. And that is what I feel like all of these products that I've just mentioned here today do for me and provide for me. So just to talk a little bit more about the Merit lipsticks, I love how they feel on my lips. I find them to be very creamy. The pigment is easy to play with. You can sheer them out, you can build them up. I just really love them. I know they've gotten some mixed reviews from YouTubers that I've watched, but for me, I really love the texture. I find them to be creamy, feeling good on the lips. So huge rave for these lipsticks from me, and that is why they are in my favorites from January and February. So now we're gonna go ahead and move on to skincare, and I have a favorite that I wanna talk about. These are sort of like oldies but goodies that I've spoken a lot about in the past, and these are from Nini Organics. These were recently sent to me in PR because now I have an affiliate code with Nini Organics, which I'm super excited about. So I did mention this in my last video, but I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it again right now. You can use the code Trish to get a free 100 ml, and this is a 100 ml size, of the Rain Essence, which I'm gonna talk about more in just a second, but I just don't wanna forget to mention the code here. So you get a free 100 ml Rain and free international shipping if you make a purchase of 150 pounds. They're a British company, so it's gonna be in pounds. So with a minimum purchase of 150 pounds or more, you get a free Rain and free international shipping. So I think that is a great deal. So anyway, let's talk about the product. So two favorites from January and February are Rain. Let's talk about that for a second here. And like I said, I've mentioned this many times on my channel, but this is absolutely one of my favorite mist/essences. This has cucumber water in it, lactic acid, butterfly pea flower, which gives it this beautiful purple color. It also has inulin powder in it, which is going to help protect the skin's microbiome. And anyway, you guys know how much I love mists and essences, and this is just one of my, I would say probably in my top 3. You know that the Earthwise Beauty Rose Mist is probably my favorite mist, alongside the beautiful mists that Lib Botanical does. But sadly, we aren't going to be able to get the Earthwise Beauty products anymore. So that's why I think it's a really good time to be featuring Rain for those of you who are looking for products to replace Earthwise Beauty products. But yeah, I absolutely love this so much and I'm really glad to have this back in my life. And then the Nini Organics Crimson Beauty is also absolutely stunning. And the Boxwala actually did feature this in a previous box, so some of you might be familiar with this. This has hibiscus extract in it, which is very high in vitamins and minerals and also helps aid in cell turnover. It also has rose damascena flower water and neroli flower water as well. This also has cucumber fruit extract. It also has two interesting ingredients that I'm not super familiar with, but it has Cora noni, which is going to be a microbiome balancer, and Arabian cotton, which helps with blue light protection and is also very high in antioxidants. There's also hyaluronic acid in here, which is going to help keep your skin plump and supple. And you all know how much I love these types of emollient, liquidy serums. They just feel so lovely and hydrating on the skin. And this one in particular has a really beautiful scent. You can kind of get that light hint of the rose and the neroli. It doesn't have a real strong scent of cucumber. It's super mild. Cucumber isn't one of my most favorite scents in skincare, but this one I wouldn't say is really strong. It just has that nice light balanced blend of the hibiscus, the rose, the neroli, but also slightly fruity, I would say. It's super beautiful. You know, sinks into the skin very quickly. It's not tacky or sticky. It's just absolutely beautiful. I really, really love it. So of course, that is why it's on my favorite list for these last couple months. So next up, I'm going to be talking about a new release from Pink Moon, and this is their Once in a Pink Moon line. And if you aren't familiar with this line, this is their astrology-based skincare line, which they co-developed with an astrologer named Evelyn Zuel. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her last name correctly. It's spelled Z-U-E-L. And Lynn, the founder of Pink Moon, gave me the opportunity to choose a cleanser, an essence, and a moisturizer from this line. And to be honest, I did not choose these products based on astrology. I chose the products based on ingredients and what my skin's needs would be. So I chose the Taurus Cleanser. And this is what it looks like. You can kind of get an idea of just the color here. And I chose this because it is a creamy clay cleanser, and that just really, drew me in because I really do like clay cleansers. And it's also described as hydrating, and it was going to plump and purify and gently exfoliate. The ingredients in here are kaolin clay, which of course is going to be clarifying. There's neem leaf, which is an antioxidant, and it's going to be restorative and give you moisture. There's snow mushroom in here, which is an adaptogen, which is a staple in traditional Chinese medicine that has regenerative properties and is also very soothing. There's jojoba oil in here, and no fragrance and no essential oils. So this is a very thin cleanser. And as you can see, I'm almost finished with the bottle, and I have really been enjoying this. And as I mentioned, you can see that it is a very thin type of cleanser. And then of course with water, it just foams up, but very lightly and very gently. And as is stated, there is no fragrance, there is no scent. And I really like this cleanser a lot. It does a great job of cleansing, and just as it says in the description, it is very gentle. I do feel like it is very hydrating, and I have really enjoyed using this. As you can see, I'm almost done with the bottle, and I have a lot of cleansers, and I do find myself reaching for this quite a bit. The only downside I would say is the bottle is a little bit small for a cleanser. I mean, cleansers tend to be something that you go through pretty quickly, and I think this is a 50 ml size, so that's a little bit on the small side. So I hope they make this a bigger size in the future just for, the cleanser. I don't think they necessarily need to create a bigger size for their other products, but I'd like to see this in a bigger size. The next product type they have in their line are essences, and I chose the Leo essence, and this has cardamom and bergamot as the scent profile. So there's also white rose hydrosol, there's aloe, glycerin, moringa seed oil, niacinamide as well, hyaluronic acid in addition. So just a really beautiful ingredient roster. Just everything in here is, just so good for the skin in terms of being a humectant, as well as the moisturizer in there with the moringa seed oil. Love that there's niacinamide in here as well as the glycerin. So clearly it's just got that true texture of an essence, kind of on that runny side, but not like a mist or a toner. It's got that thick kind of runny texture. Rubbing it on my skin, you can feel the moisturizers in here. You can feel that there is an oil. I don't know if you can see a little bit of that sheen in there, probably coming from the moringa seed oil, but it just is really beautiful and very nourishing. I was just very pleasantly surprised by this product. I really love it. And if you are a fan of cardamom, you've got to try out this essence. It's absolutely beautiful. What is also nice about it though is the scent does not linger on your skin. I would say the cardamom scent probably lasts around, I'll revisit it during this video. I'm looking at my watch and we'll see about how long the scent lasts. If I'm remembering correctly, I would say it's probably somewhere between 3 to 5 minutes, but I'll double check on that. But yeah, if you like cardamom, I highly recommend this one. And then lastly, the moisturizer I chose is the Capricorn moisturizer. And I chose this one because Lynn said that this would be the most rich one and the most lush one. And then the website also describes it as strengthening, and it includes ceramides, peptides, calendula. This also has niacinamide. So a really nice ingredient deck as well. This one has no fragrance and no essential oils. So the essences are going to be the only product, I believe, in all of the products in the Once in a Pink Moon line that does have any kind of essential oil or any kind of fragrance in it. But the fragrances are going to be all natural fragrances. But anyway, back to the moisturizer. Let me show you the texture of this because it did take me a little bit by surprise. I don't know if you're gonna get this sense, but it does have a little bit of that gel-like texture. So I was expecting more like a traditional cream, sort of one of those real thick, not like a cold cream, but more along those lines. I wasn't really expecting a gel-like cream. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, it just was not what I was expecting at all. So for me and my purposes and my skin type, which does tend to lean a little bit dry, especially in these colder winter months and, you know, using central heat, I have been finding that this works for me really well during the day. So if I've been using serums or essences that do have moisturizers in them, sometimes I can just get away with just using this and then sunscreen and then that's it. But if I feel like I do need it to be a little bit more emollient, then I will add a couple of drops of oil, and I'm gonna talk about that in a second, which oils I've been loving for these last couple months. But I do sometimes feel like it needs a couple of drops of oil, which is fine, and I still have really been loving this moisturizer. I find that I reach for it a lot, and given the number of creams that I have going right now and lotions, the fact that I'm almost halfway done with this speaks volumes because I reach for it. I find that I really want to use this moisturizer, and I also really like that it is not scented. I don't always want to have something that is scented, and then if I want something that is scented, like I said, I just add a couple of drops of oil, so I kind of create my own emollient type of moisturizer. So I've just really been pleasantly surprised by all of these products. Really, really impressed by these. I do highly recommend all three that I chose and that I was sent. Big favorites of mine over these last couple months. So yeah, I've really been enjoying these a lot. And I also do have a 10% off code. I think it's just Trish. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, but I will put it down below definitively what my code is, but it is 10% off at Pink Moon. So if you are interested in these products or anything else over on the website, you know, definitely feel free to use my code over there. So speaking of oils that I have really been loving, I was sent the Lina Hanson Global Calm in PR. And I have really just fallen in love with this oil and have been reaching for it quite a bit over these last couple months. This is also an essential oil-free product, so it's really great for those of you who have sensitive skin, and if you're just sensitive in general to essential oils. And I have been reaching for this because in these winter months, my skin definitely does feel a little bit more on the sensitive side. I've been pulling back a little bit on using the actives like my retinoids, as well as the products that do have AHAs in them. I'm still using them, but I'm typically only using those about once a week now. And I have been reaching more for these types of products that don't have actives in them, that don't have essential oils in them, that are just purely just really nourishing and made for sensitive skin. So the ingredients in here are Kalahari seed oil, there's passion fruit oil in here, jojoba, sunflower, cucumber seed oil. There's also camellia seed oil in here, apricot oil, avocado oil. There's also some safflower seed oil in here as well. And it's just, like I said, it's just very calming and soothing to the skin. Now, it does have a relatively strong scent of cucumber seed oil. So unfortunately, cucumber and blue tansy just are not huge favorites of mine, but sometimes I can make exceptions depending upon the formulation and just how it's working for my skin. So when it comes to putting this all over my face just sort of by itself, I don't really do that very often. I mean, I did actually last night, and it was fine. It didn't bother me. It didn't, you know, interfere with me being able to fall asleep, but it's just not my absolute favorite. It's not something I'm going to put all over my face every single night, but I can every once in a while. How I prefer to use this is just a drop or two mixed in with something else, like for instance, the Capricorn moisturizer from Pink Moon. So that's how I've been using it, is just a drop or two mixed in with something else, like a moisturizer or a dry mask, something along those lines. I still can use it all over my face. It's just not something I'm going to do on a daily basis. But it is something I can reach for if I need to just have something very, very calming on my skin. So for those of you who like the scent of cucumber and you have sensitive skin, definitely check this out because it has definitely been a favorite of mine over these last couple months. And just on a time check on this scent of the Leo Essence from Pink Moon, I can barely smell it, but it's still there just slightly. So I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. So it probably lingers. I was thinking it was dissipated by 5 minutes, but at the 10-minute mark, it's still there just ever so slightly. So just to give you a little bit more information on the scent of the essences, just for those of you to have that information if you're really sensitive to scent. So moving back to Lina Hanson, they also sent me their perfume oils. These are all 100% natural. They have 3 of them. Satori is the original one. I remember reviewing this for my blog, Scent Hive, years and years ago. I will try to remember to link my original review down below. But yeah, these are beautiful perfume oils. Satori means awakening in Zen Buddhism, and this is supposed to transport you to Southeast Asia. Oh, and I also have an interview with Lina Hanson, and I will try to remember to link that below as well so that you can learn more about her. She is amazing. But anyway, back to Satori. This has notes of vanilla, yuzu, ginger, and sandalwood, and it is supposed to be warm, bright, and sweet, which I would definitely agree with that description. So if you like citrus and vanilla, it is very citrus and vanilla forward and is definitely very sweet. I don't get a lot of sandalwood. It is very subtle, but it is there just a little bit, which kind of helps ground the sweetness, but it is definitely a very sweet, citrusy type of perfume. It's not hyper sweet, like it's not too much like those 50/50 bars, if you remember those that were the, the ice cream bars, the vanilla with the orange popsicle on the outside. It's slightly reminiscent of that. So if you kind of like that sweet vanilla orange type of experience, you would definitely love Satori. Oh, and let me just show you the boxes as well before I forget. These boxes are really nice. So I just think these would make for a lovely gift. And let me just talk about Lagom. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. It's Lagom. And Lagom was inspired by Scandinavia, and Lagom means just the right amount. The scent profile in here is pine, juniper berry, and vetiver. It is very calming. It is also a little bit medicinal, sort of like camphor-like, and very minty. So this is very calming. I would agree with that. That's how they describe it on the website, is very calming. So if you do like that kind of minty, also very foresty type of scent, this would be one that I would go for. I have really been enjoying both Satori and Lagom, but I would say hands down, my favorite has been Vibe. This is so beautiful. I do love cardamom so much. This has cardamom in it, oud, and black pepper. This is supposed to be reminiscent of the Middle East. I want to mention that the oud in here is sustainably harvested from Vietnam, and this scent is absolutely gorgeous. Even though I've been loving playing with all 3 of them, Vibe is the standout for me for sure. It just, it is just one of those like, gets to your soul. Smells so amazing. It does have a woodiness to it that is just definitely coming from the oud. I don't think it's sandalwood. I think it's got to be the oud, because if you're familiar with oud, it kind of has this like chewiness to it. That's how I always feel about oud. It's got this like, you just feel like you can kind of take a bite out of it. I don't know how to describe it any other way. But oud is just so, it's just such an interesting scent, and it's just got that like, it's woody, but it's got this really beautiful depth to it that just, I don't know how else to describe it. I always just feel like it's got this chewiness to it, but I just really love it. And the black pepper just gives it that really lovely spiciness to it. Yeah, it's kind of like sensual and seductive, and I just absolutely love it. So if you are a fan of those types of fragrances and you love cardamom, then you definitely got to check out Vibe. So thank you so much to Lina Hanson for sending these my way. she knew that I was gonna love Vibe, but, and I knew she was sending it to me, but I was very surprised that she sent me all three. So I've really been loving testing all of them, but yes, absolutely am head over heels in love with Vibe. And then moving along, I wanted to touch on a product from Boxwalla that they sent in the December beauty box, and this is the Siam Seas Element Beauty Balm. And this has blue tansy in it. And you might be a little surprised as to how much I've actually used of this product. If you know me and you know how much I don't like blue tansy in my skincare, you might be able to see a little bit better how much I've actually used of this product. And the deal with this product is it is a balm that was made to be a moisturizer that you leave on your skin. It has amazing ingredients in here. I'm not going to read them all, but some of the highlights for me are cocoon butter, maura butter, hemp seed oil, tamanu oil, mango butter. It also has blue tansy in it. It has bakuchiol and vitamin C ester. I don't know which one it is. It lists vitamin C ester. When I did my Boxwalla review, so many of you said how beautiful this product is and how much you love it. And I think a couple of you even said that you're not big blue tansy fans, but you were able to use it. So what I did was I gave it a try, but once I applied it onto my face, I just knew that the blue tansy was just going to be a little bit too strong for me to be able to apply it as skincare and wear it for the day or even wear it overnight on my skin. So what I did is I've been using it as a cleansing balm, and that has just been amazing. I absolutely love using it as a cleansing balm. So what I've been doing is applying it to my skin and then just doing a lengthy massage and just enjoying that whole process because it just feels so silky and plush and cushiony. And then I will leave it on as a mask for however long that I want to after I do the massage because it's got the bakuchiol in there, it's got the vitamin C. So obviously I want to try to get those skin benefits from those ingredients as long as I possibly can. And then I just use a warm cloth and then remove it from my skin, and that has been working out great. So thank you to everybody who encouraged me to give it a go because I have been absolutely loving using this balm. And then I also want to talk about a couple of other products that I have discovered through Boxwalla that I have actually had in my collection for a while. These were originally in a box a while back. I can't remember when we got these, but then I was sent to these, or actually I received these as a gift with purchase. I can't remember exactly when, but I did get these again. So these are actually second bottles that I have gotten. These are the Lepaar Elastic Love and then the Smooth Operator from Boxwalla. And anyway, I really, really love these. I have kind of fallen in love with these last couple of months. Again, I've been loving putting a couple of drops of oil in, moisturizers, especially the one that I have already spoken about from Pink Moon. All of the Lepaar products have absolutely incredible ingredient decks. If you are interested in Lepaar at all, sort of like what I would always say with Earthwise Beauty or Live Botanical, if you are interested in Lepaar, go to their website and just check out their ingredient descriptions. Just absolutely beautiful. All of their ingredients are either organic or wild harvested, just right off the bat so that you know that. But anyway, Elastic Love has evening primrose oil, Kalahari melon seed oil, black currant seed oil, quince seed extract, there's vanilla extract in here, wild crafted myrrh resin, wild crafted frankincense resin extract. So just so beautiful. I have really been loving using this both morning and night. And then the Smooth Operator, it has green coffee seed oil in it, and there's also 3 other types of coffee oils and extracts. There's also chia seed oil in here, passion flower extract, marshmallow extract. Just really beautiful. The first time around when I had this particular oil, the Smooth Operator, I didn't absolutely love it. I felt like the coffee was just a little bit too strong in terms of the scent. but I don't know if this one is a little bit milder or just my personal taste has changed, but I have really been loving using this in the morning, just putting a couple of drops into whatever moisturizer I'm using, which again, I keep repeating myself, has been this one, the Capricorn one from Pink Moon. But anyway, I've just really been loving this combination in particular. And yeah, I just really love this oil now. I've just, like I said, my taste must have changed, or if this is just kind of a milder batch in terms of the scent. But yeah, both of these Lepaar oils have been big favorites of mine over these last couple months. And again, I think I might do a dedicated video to products to help replace some Earthwise Beauty products, but I do feel like these are good replacements if you're lamenting Earthwise Beauty closing. And then moving on, I do want to talk about these Rose Ingleton products. I did briefly do a quick mention of these, sort of honorable mention in my best of 2022 video, but I didn't want to talk about them too much because I hadn't had them for that long. But now I've had them for probably 2 to 3 months at this point. Really love both of them. This is the Super Fruit Brightening Cleanser. This is a foaming gel cleanser, but it is super, super gentle. It is not drying. It is not stripping at all. I have really been enjoying this a lot. And I think I'm going to be reaching for this even more as the warmer months start to approach here, when you just get really hot and sweaty after working out outside and you've got sunscreen on. But like I said, it's very gentle, it's non-drying. It was created by Rosemary Ingleton, who is a dermatologist. And so she created it specifically to be good for your skin barrier. It's got sugarcane extract in it. There's pro vitamin B5, which is a humectant. There's aloe. I think there might also be hyaluronic acid in here. But anyway, this is just so beautiful. I've been absolutely loving this cleanser. I don't typically use a lot of foaming cleansers, but this one I have really been enjoying using. And then there's also the Superfruit Exfoliating Tonic. This does have 8% glycolic acid in it. There's also licorice root extract, which is great for fading dark spots. There's also provitamin B5 in this one as well. This is great for improving your skin texture and also for hyperpigmentation. So because this has 8% glycolic acid, and I've been, like I said, I've been backing off of AHAs a little bit over these winter months. What I have been using this for is I do get little bumps on the backs of my thighs after shaving. And so I have been using this on the backs of my thighs after I shave, and just kind of like on a daily basis before I put on my moisturizer. And this has been working wonders. The backs of my legs have been so smooth since I started using this. And it's just so easy to use. You know, it's a liquid, obviously, so it just soaks in really quickly, and then I can put on my moisturizer. So I actually like this as a body exfoliator. So I highly recommend this as a body exfoliator. And I have been using this a lot, and it is a giant bottle. And I think it's $48, and I can't remember if I already mentioned this, but I have a code with Rose Ingleton. All my codes are down below. So with my discount code, I feel like this is a really good buy. And like I said, I've been using this a ton, and I've hardly made a dent, and I feel like I use this all the time. So anyway, I feel like this is a great buy. It is super effective, at least on my body. I can't really speak to its use on my face because I just haven't been using it on my face. But if you are a person who typically uses glycolic acid toners, you might want to give this a try, because I just feel like this is a really good buy. So anyway, huge rave for both the cleanser and the tonic, at least the tonic for a body exfoliator. But yeah, I have been super impressed with Rose Ingleton. I also have used the retinol milky serum, which I absolutely love and will be getting again in the future. I just have other retinoid serums going right now, so I don't need to purchase any at the moment, but I absolutely love that serum that they have. It's just absolutely beautiful. So definitely check out Rose Ingleton if you haven't already. And then last but not least, I have the Good Molecules Sheer Mineral Sunscreen, which has an SPF of 30. And you guys, this runs for $12 and it has 13% zinc oxide. Zinc oxide is the sunscreen in here. And if you go to their website, you can see the breakdown, the percentages of each ingredient in here. It is like 50% water, and then like I said, it's 13% zinc, and then I think the next ingredient after that is the caprylic capric triglyceride. There's also grapeseed oil in here, and I have been so impressed by this sunscreen. So I did mention in my best of 2022 that I absolutely fell in love with the Lepaar sunscreen, which is so nice. And if you love kind of the high-end, luxurious, like green beauty, eco beauty type of products, I cannot recommend that highly enough. It is gorgeous. I love it. I love that beautiful kind of almond marzipan scent that it has, which does dissipate. So that will continue to be a favorite of mine. But if you want something that is more affordable, because that sunscreen is very expensive, I think it's around $70 without any kind of a discount. But if that price point is out of your range and $12 sounds a little bit more reasonable to you, this one is amazing. I absolutely love it. I think well, here, let me just show you what it looks like. So first of all, it just feels good on the skin. It doesn't feel, tacky or weird. It doesn't have any kind of weird drag on the skin. And I'm just gonna keep on rolling here so you can see the white cast situation, which there really is no white cast. Now I've got the sun kind of blasting in on me now. So I'm moving the camera momentarily so that you can see there is just no white cast at all. Well, hopefully shifting over there helped you to see that the sunscreen has soaked in beautifully. There is no white cast, at least on my skin tone. Of course, I can't speak for darker skin tones, but on me, it really has soaked in beautifully and has left no white cast, at least, on my hand. But I have used it several times. I think I've used it maybe 5 or 6 times at this point, and I have had no issues with any kind of white cast. I haven't noticed any issues with pilling. It has worked under foundation, several different types of conditions and products that I have used it with. So far so good. The real test, of course, will be in the summertime when I am outside and I'm sweating and I'm really active, playing tennis. I have found that the Lepaar does work very well outside because I did have that in the summertime last year. So that will be a big test for this one. But so far this winter, this has been an excellent sunscreen. So I think that wraps it up for my favorites from January and February. Thank you for watching the video. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do so. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.